Like yesterday, we had a first intro or the high level picture of DevOps, right? Today, we'll get started with our first tool in the DevOps course, which is version control system. The first tool is version control system. Yes. So, we are going to start with the version control system. So, hello everyone, please keep muted. If you have any questions, you can unmute and speak, otherwise, please keep muted. So, we are getting started with our first tool in the course, which is a version control system. Let us understand what is version control system. Why do we need version control system? Who should learn it? Who uses it in reality? How it will help a DevOps engineer? What are all the perspectives DevOps engineers should be looking at with respect to version control systems? And then we'll get into the architecture of version control system, different types of version control systems, and then we'll get into Git setup and hands-on. So let us begin. So what is a version control system? What is a version control system? So version control system is nothing but which will help you manage or maintain different versions of your files, right? Or which will help you secure your project files. Let's take a simple example to understand this practically. Some of you might be aware of it. Some of you might be using these version control systems. So let us have a deep understanding on this. So let's assume you're working in a project, right? Whatever files they were using, they have kept the files at some location or shared location. I'm assuming there is no version control system, means they're not using any version control system, rather some shared location or shared drive to store the files. Okay, suppose all the project work is kept here. Now let's say a person A from the team want to make changes on file 1. Let's suppose they have downloaded this file and making changes. Person A is making changes. Similarly, at the same time, another person got this file. Person B also downloaded this file and he is also making changes. After day 1, okay, let's say person B kept the file back. After day 2, person A kept the file back. So if this is the case, after day 2, which person changes will be there in this file?
Person B.
After 2 days, which person changes will be there? Day 2, person A kept the file back. So
Person A.
after
A.
only
Person.
A changes will be there, right? Because what's happening here? A is overwriting changes of B. A doesn't know that he is doing it. Similarly, B doesn't know someone is overwriting his changes, right? They were working parallelly and they are not aware this is happening, right? So if this keep on continuing with a team of 10 people, 20 people working in a project, will this work? Each one overwriting changes of others, will this work? Definitely no, right? So project gets corrupted, changes goes messed up. So how do you handle it? So that's one of the use cases where version control system comes in, which allows people to work simultaneously on the same file, right? Without being overwritten or without being ignored. Right? It allows people to work on the same file at the same time. Means this will not happen if they have used a version control system. And the second use case. Okay, let's suppose application is working fine till 7 o'clock today. Immediately, something went wrong and 7:15 the application got crashed. We want to bring the application back. So we need to check what happened in between. In this 15 minutes, what happened? So you need a detailed logging like 7:10 person B made changes to file 2 on line number 8. If you if you have this kind of detailed logging, you identified what went in between and you could revert or remove those changes and bring the system back. Am I correct? So is this possible manually? Means without any system, can you have this kind of detailed logging of which person did what changes at what time? Isn't it? So that's where again version control system comes into picture. So that is one more thing. changes happening simultaneously. We need a detailed logging, and also let's suppose you're working on file 1 version 1. Client want to make some changes and make another version, so you have overwritten it, made a version 2. After few days client want to go back to this version, but you have overwritten and made a version 2, means you need to again do a rework, put the changes back. Rather doing that rework, if you could have maintained versions, maintained backups, don't ever overwrite on the same file. Maintain backups, maintain versions, so that whenever they need a previous version, they could revert back easily. Correct? So, how is this possible? Again, with some version control system, because people will be working on managing their files, working on the changes. They wouldn't be focusing on backing up, logging, security, right? So, if we have a system which can take care of all of this, that's where version control system comes in. Am I clear? Is that making sense, everyone? So, these are all some of the things which a version control system does. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so now that we understood what is version control system, who uses it? Obviously, developers, it's a mandatory tool for them. Of course, even QA people will use it. DevOps engineers will use it because they do have a lot of configuration files, Ansible playbooks, Kubernetes configuration files, and so on, right? So anyone, everyone in IT should learn version control system to manage their project work. Okay, so which files you can version control? Any static files can be version controlled. It could be Java, .NET, C Sharp, Perl, Python. Need not be necessarily programming. They can be configuration files like Terraform configuration files, Ansible playbooks. Even all of them can be version controlled. Any static files, simple text files also can be version controlled, right? So any file can be version controlled. You can maintain versions of any Excel files or images or simple text files or configuration files, anything. So DevOps engineer or anyone, everyone should learn it. So that's a first perspective we'll learn version control system from to manage our project work. Then there is another perspective. Like whenever developer make a change, yesterday we learned, right? Developers will make the code ready. Once they make the code ready, they'll put their code in version control system. As a DevOps engineer, you should identify the changes, pull the code, and build the CI/CD pipelines, right? So how is that possible? That's another perspective of learning version control systems from the perspective of CI/CD. That also we will learn. So we will learn these two perspectives of using version control systems. Hope this much is clear for each and every one of you. Are we good to go? Appreciate quick responses.
Yes.
Right. So now that we understood what is version control system, who uses it, what is it all, let's talk about different types of version control systems. Yes, there are different types of version control systems like centralized version control system and distributed version control system. So centralized version control system is okay, how they do differ? They differ with respect to their architecture. See here, as the name says, centralized version control system means they'll have a central server or a remote repository where certain changes would be, or else all the project work would be kept. And and this is the workstation of different DevOps engineers, or if it's a development project, developers, right? Whoever it is, let's say collaborators or users. So each one will connect to the central server or remote repository and make changes. Once they are done, they'll put their changes back. As simple as that. That's how centralized version control system works. There are certain drawbacks. Always you should have network connectivity. If for some reasons network is disconnected, entire work is halted. Okay, that's one challenge. Another challenge is if for any reasons, let's say the central server is crashed, this is central server or remote server. For any reasons, if central server is got crashed, entire like if central server is crashed, entire work would be halted, right? So means chances of recovery is also less. What I mean is if central server is gone, there is no backup kind of. It works like a single source of truth. So chance of recovery are also less. These are the two drawbacks or challenges with centralized version control systems. And which tools implement or follows this architecture? SVN, TFS. These are all different version control systems like Git. They follow centralized version architecture. To overcome these challenges, we have distributed architecture. This is the distributed version control system architecture. See, again, we have central server or remote repository. This is the workstation of each individual collaborator or user. So this is the central server or remote server. Central server or remote server. And this is the local repository, right? And this is the working directory or some folder or directory where changes are made, right? Meaning every user will get a copy of remote repository. Again, they don't work on the local repository, which is a copy of remote, rather they work in some other directory. From that directory, once changes are done, they'll move them to local. From local, they'll move to remote. Means it's like a two steps before your changes goes to remote repository, right? So how it overcomes challenge of centralized version control systems? Network connections is not always required. You need network connectivity only to push your changes and pull your changes. Push and pull are less frequent commands. Majority of the times you work on local repository, which is in the same laptop or same server, means majority, most of the time we are working with the hard disk or hard drive, right? So it is also faster because we need to just access the hard disk. Also network, though network connections are disconnected, you can still continue working here, right? Got it right, everyone. So it can just still work on the you can still continue working on the local. So entire work is not altered. Once network connections are restored, you can push the changes back. Clear, everyone? All right. So yeah, this is how you can work with the local repo. So network connection disconnected, no worries, we can work with the local. And also, let's suppose remote repository is lost. Chances of recovery is more because if you see every user or collaborator is having a copy of their local repository, sorry, copy of the remote repository, which is local, right? Chance of recovery are also more. So that's how distributed version control systems are efficient than centralized version control systems. Also, they help you more in modern DevOps projects like Devops. And Git follows this distributed architecture, and majority of the DevOps projects uses Git, the modern approach. Were the architectural differences clear, everyone, for centralized version control systems and distributed? Is this much clear? Yes. Okay, so this.
Hello. Hello, you are not audible, ma'am. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, 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 ma'am.
Right. Okay, got disconnected and connected back. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, so what I'm talking about is like we learn the architectures in general. Let's talk about Git architecture, but before that, a comparison of different version control systems. Right, like these are all the different version control systems we have, like a Git, SVN, TFS, fossils, and all. You can see the graph, the comparison of these tools. The blue one stands for Git, means it's clearly Git is the market leader. It is very widely used in this category, right? So if you learn Git, you have chances of getting into the project using it. Also, if you learn Git, you can work with other tools very easily. They follow the same analogy and similar concepts, right? So let's get into the Git architecture. So, like we were talking about, this is the local machine, my laptop, right? So, you get a copy of remote repository and will have a local repository, right? Any changes wouldn't be directly applied on local repository, that rather they work on some other working directory. From working directory, changes will be moved to another area called staging area or virtual layer, or this is called index area. It's a virtual layer. You cannot directly move your changes from a working directory to local. No, this is not possible. So first you have to move them to staging area. It's like a virtual area or index area. It is like a preview or a pre-check before your changes goes to local. So from staging area, changes goes into local repository. From local, you will move your changes to remote. It's like a three steps. This is called Git tree. It's like a three steps before you push your changes to remote. Unless until you move your changes to remote, they are confined only for yourself. Only once you move your changes to remote, others can see the changes. Don't worry, we are going to get into the practicals. We'll see everything we were talking about now. Right? So it's like a working directory, staging area. From staging area, changes will go to local repository. From local repository to remote. You might be having a question. What is the importance of index area or staging area? Does it has any importance, the virtual layer? Isn't it? Of course, yes. Virtual layer is like a preview or a pre-check before your changes goes to remote. Preview or a pre-check before your changes goes to remote, right? So, like for example, suppose you have 5 files or else let's say 10 files in your working directory. You want to move only 5 files to local. So that can be taken care by staging area. It tells you, okay, what changes goes to local. Suppose you want to 5 files to go to local, you will put only those 5 files into staging area. That's how you can have a better control on what changes are going into local repository. Right? So that's a Git architecture. And once you move to remote, yes, you can share the changes with others. Everyone else can see those changes. This is how your changes navigate in the version control system. But what is the advantage of it, right? Like how does it actually work? Let me explain you. Here, before deep diving or getting into the hands-on, I would like to give you few things. Um, till now we were talking about, right, working directory is a folder or a directory, right, where you put your changes, and then staging area, local repository. See, this working directory, local repository are physically the same. It's actually same folder, same directory. Then you might be having a question, then how come you call it as working directory or local repository if they are same, isn't it? Physically they are same, logically they are different. Again, what does it mean? Logically they are different. It means, let me give you an example. Suppose you created a working directory and you just created a file there. Or you copied some from somewhere and created a file, means it is said to be in the working directory. After creating a file, if you have done git add, means it is said to be in the staging area, right? After doing git add, if you commit means it is set to be in the local repository, right? That's how your changes navigate to three stages like working directory, staging area, and local repository. Is this much clear, everyone?
Sorry, a
Right?
quick question. So whatever we are doing here is not part of CI. So CI starts after the remote repo. Is that correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay,
At the
thanks.
same, in this context, I would like to answer another question. Others or some of you might be having a question. CI starts once changes goes to remote by developers. But why were we learning about this? Anyone can answer? Why are we understanding local repository? Why are we understanding what is working directory? Why are we bothered about all of this when developer make a change in remote repository? Your CI CD should trigger. Why are we bothered about all of this stuff? Can anyone answer this question?
I
Because
think
of branching conflicts.
yeah, we are writing some files, right, for Kubernetes and those files. So that files we need to push, right?
Exactly. We do have our own files as a DevOps engineer. Not only that, even there is another file called Jenkins file which will take care of CI/CD pipeline, which is managed by DevOps engineers. So even they should manage those files, right? So those should be working in from your local, it should go to remote and also. That's the reason we are also learning what happens and how your changes reside in version control system end to end, so that you would be needing them in different perspectives. You will be using Git in different perspectives, right? That's the reason we are learning end to end here. Like I promised, I'll teach every topic from basics to advanced, right? I'll teach you the system thoroughly, so that any questions in the interview you can clear, any task given to you, you can handle them confidently, right? So yep, so just created a file means it's in the working directory, you add it, it's called its staging area. If you commit it, then it goes into local, then you do a push, it goes here. Coming back to the point, working directory, local repository are physically one single folder only. Depending on the context, logically it's called as working directory and local repository. Is this point clear? Driven, everyone understood this? Have you all noted this point? Any questions, confusions, you can raise your hand and put the message in the Zoom chat, or confirmations will help me to proceed.
A quick question. So whatever is happening on local, if your box dies, you're kind of back to square one, right? So there's no sync between local repo and remote repo.
There'll be no automatic sync. That's why you have to do git push after developing some changes. Once you have got
Okay.
something ready, you have to do a git push.
Okay, but within the Git on your local PC, is there the option for backup or
No, no, you don't have it.
no? Okay.
Hmm. Okay, so yeah, this is how it works. And now I would, before getting into setting up Git and all, let me bring up another point. Like, how do you create local repositories? How do you create local repository? So one thing very simple, I'll answer this with the two different scenarios. Suppose you joined a project, it's a 6-year-old project. Now you joined as a DevOps engineer. You want to create a local repository in your system and work on. So copy from existing already there or existing remote repo, and create a local repo and work on it. Second scenario, assume it's a new project. New team is formed, new project is formed. I mean, new project is the new team is formed to work on DevOps configuration. So there's nothing on remote. So you create an empty local repository initially and then start working. How do you create an empty local repository? Git init. Develop your files, get your project ready, then do git push and create a remote. Right? So those are all the different ways you can do. You can create local repositories. Everything I'm talking here, will be demonstrated in the lab. Git clone commands, init commands, pull, push, all of them we will learn thoroughly. Right? Is this clear, everyone? Any questions before I go to the setup of Git on your systems?
Git in it, like, can you, like, how, like, after creating working directory, will use Git in it, or like what?
Do ignore the commands, please. Okay, just understand the concept. I'll take you through those commands one by one. That's why just ignore them. Ignore the commands. Any more questions? Okay, now we learned Git architecture and all. Let's go for the hands-on. So how do you do the hands-on? Git works for multiple operating systems. You can install Git in Windows, Linux, Mac, and also it is also lightweight. You can install on any operating system. So let's first go and set up Git. How do you install and how do you set up Git? So now, okay, how do you do the hands-on? First, coming to the lab assignments of Git. If you go to Git, the day one lab assignment, you will have the lab setup, including all the steps. See here, day one of Git. Okay, install Git. Or if it is Windows, here is the URL you have to go for. See gitscm.com downloads. If it is Mac, these are the commands. If it is Linux, these are the commands. Then what to do, everything here. Right? So you can follow it along. Anyway, I'm showing you. Go to gitscm.com. Okay, gitscm is the official page. So this is how you should do professionally rather than going through the links and all. Just know how to do it. Go to Git official documentation. It's taking time going that way. Git download. Okay, so here you can see download on different operating systems, Mac, Linux, and so on. Right? So depending on the operating system you want, you can choose and execute the commands. It's as simple as that. Suppose you want to also further guidance on Windows, you have to download this executable, run this executable. If you are looking for further help, no worries. You have, apart from lab assignments, you have also lab notes, wherein you will have screenshots of what to do step by step. Hope by now you all got access to your LMS, right? Almost everyone here is registered and you all can see this LMS. Have you logged into your LMS? And can you all see this lab notes? Okay, let me take you from the beginning. Go to LMS, My Learnings, go to your program. This is day one of Git. Okay, day one video of Git will be uploaded here after the session is done. Okay, you will see the recording here. And if you scroll down, you will see lab assignments, quiz, interview questions. Also, you can see the lab notes here. Lab notes is much more clear documentation with the screenshots if you are looking for any further help. Like if you go here to Git, hope you all got the access to this. Right, you have Git installation on Windows, PDF documentation with all the screenshots on what you should do. It's nothing but very simple. Download the executable. The executable looks like this. Double click and run the executable. Click on, keep hitting next, 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 next. That will help you install Git on your Windows. Once
Maybe
it is
I was getting subscribe option in this link
subscribe option in,
and this LMS link.
yeah, you have to go to My Learnings. So that you choose the program, you should get it. If you are not registered or enrolled into the course, you will see a trial access only. If you have registered, you should be getting the complete access. Still, whoever are not receiving the access, but if you are registered, you should be getting access to it. If not, please reach out to this number, Mr. Raj on this number. He can help you out with the access. right? All the enrolled students should have it. Okay, so once it is installed, go to start menu, run git bash, a terminal will open, which is a git bash where you can run these commands. Okay. Right, so that's how you can set up Git. So you can use it for Mac or Windows or Linux, depending on your operating system. Choose the link and install it. So I have already done with my setup on Mac, so I should be having it installed. If it is Mac, just launch your terminal. That's all. Let me launch my terminal. Can you see it now? And if you see Git version, because I already installed it, yes, Git is installed on my system. I have Git now. So now how to use Git to version control my project work, isn't it? Can I go on? Any questions from anyone before I move on from here? Okay, so Git is installed on my system, but now I have to tell which folder it has to version control, isn't it? It should know which directory or which folder it has to version control, isn't it? So you may create some project folder to keep all your project work. Okay, so I'm creating some folder. See, I'm using some basic CLI commands or Linux commands. mkdir means create a folder. There is a separate Linux session where I'll teach you. If you are not comfortable using CLI, you can very much use the GUI to do that. Just creating a folder. You may go to the desktop, right? You can create a folder from the UI. Just right click, new folder, and that's how you can do. Anything is perfect. We did not learn Linux till now, so you can go. Say I created a folder. Okay, fine. Folder is created. Go to that folder. CD means change directory. Okay, it's on the desktop. So first go to desktop, then git demo. I'm inside the folder. Now, this is the folder I want to get version controlled, right? I want Git to track any content in this folder, right? Means I'm going to keep all my project work here. So I'm covering the second use case. Just some time back we discussed the use case, right? Local repository can be created in two ways. Assume that there is nothing on remote, you can create it. So I am going to create a new empty project. So how do you do that? Git init. Git init means now this git demo folder will become a Git project, Git repository, meaning any files you keep here will be version controlled by Git. Got it? Understood, everyone? Is this much clear? Can I run the command?
Yes.
So when I do git init, it is showing .git folder created. Means it's a hidden folder. Hidden folders can be seen with ls-a or else, like I'm telling you, if you're not comfortable with CI, you can use GUI. See, .git is created. Any folder having .git folder in it means inside that means it's a local repository. So local repository is created. Understood. It's a local repository. It's created. Now any files you keep here, Git will be tracking it. Clear, everyone? So let us create some files. How do you create a file? You can just go to the folder. I'm sorry. So just go to this folder. Okay. Here right click, create some files. Or else if you want to create from CLI also fine. Touch file1.txt. Right? ls. Just now we learned the Git architecture, right? Touch means it has created a file. Now, created a file means where is this file? With respect to this architectural diagram, created the file means Is it in working directory or staging area, local repository? Just now we learned it.
Working directory.
Working day.
Means just created a file means it's in the working directory, right? How do you know? Git status is another command which can help you understand this. So see here, it tells you there is a file. Git is telling you that it knows there is a file, but it could not track it. Means Git knows there is a file, but it could not track. Yeah. Git know, okay, there is a file, but Git cannot track it. That's why it's telling untracked files. Means what you should do for Git to track it? It is giving you clue. Git add. Git add means where does this file go now? Git add file one. I'm just creating a text file. If you are interested or concerned about a specific files, you can also create it. Okay, I'm just creating a simple text file because our intention is to learn version controlling. It could be any file. Our interest is not to learn creating different files, but to version control any file. So if you want, you can create any files of your choice, right? So git add file one. Now, can you tell me where is this file?
Staging area.
Exactly. See, the message also changed. Earlier, it is telling it cannot track it, but now it is tracking it. Changes to be committed. Like I told you, when you are using Git, this architectural diagram should be in your mind. So, changes to be committed means so to the staging area. From staging area, okay, that's what it is telling. To be committed means it is in the staging area. So later on, what you have to do? Git commit minus m. M stands for message, some message. That's called commit message. Let's say first commit or first file, something like that. This comment is important to later on understand what this commit will do, right? So done. Now, if you do git status, it shows you that it is clean. Clean means whatever changes in there were there in the local repository. Clear everyone? ls will list the files in this particular folder. Can I get confirmation from each and everyone? I want everyone to follow these things thoroughly and should be able to apply them. So, clear everyone, got it? A quick thumbs up also will help me. Thank you all. So let us repeat it with another file so that it should be very clear. I'm just creating a file. Can you tell me where is this file?
Working directory.
Physically, this git demo is a working directory. The same is the local repos, but logically it's different. So it's in the working directory. You can also confirm this way. Git ls files will show the files in the staging area or local repository, but not in the working directory. So
This touch command is used to create the file. Yeah.
which command? Yes, touch command is used to create the file. That's a
Oh,
basic Linux commands we learn separately. But yes,
yeah.
right. That's a simple one. And git ls files will list the files in the staging area and in the local repository. See, it's not showing you file too. Okay. Also to confirm where this file is, git status. See, it is in the untracked means where is the file? Git knows there is a file, but Git is not tracking it.
It is
Yes.
in the local
Working directory.
working directory. We have to add
Git
commit.
commit minus m, let's say second file, right? So now do ls, you have two files. Git ls files should show you the same. Again, also we did commit, right? So git status, sorry, I did not commit that. So let us add this first. Git add file to, right? First you have to add. Now can you tell me where is this file?
Staging area.
Staging. Now changes to be committed means staging area. Now commit the changes, git commit -m, second file changed, right? Now if you do git status, it should be showing clean. Clean means whatever changes you have in the local repository, whatever changes you have in the staging area working directory, all of them got committed. Understood? So let's see git status, right? Clean. ls 2 files. Git ls files also should show you 2 files. Understood? And whenever you run the commit command, a commit ID is generated, right? If you want to see the log, like the history of changes, commit history can be seen. See, every commit will generate this hash code, unique commit ID, including the author, the timestamp. We learned sometime back, right? There'll be person name, who made the changes at what time, and the commit message also. Right? Commit message will help you understand after some 10 days if you come and check the log. It helps you understand, okay, I made changes to second file in this commit. If you want to see just the brief log, git log one line, just only I don't want to see the entire commit ID. First 7 characters is enough for the commit ID. So if you want to see just the brief log, this is what you can do. Right? So that is how log command will help you to see the commit history, and git status and git commands will help you with. Any questions? Can I go on to the next scenario, or any questions, any confusions, anything I should repeat? See, Git is very easy tool, but a bit tricky if you don't learn it properly. Proper learning, understanding the concept is important. If you learn it properly, it's a very interesting tool which you can enjoy a lot. Always this architectural diagram should be at your back of your mind to understand how Git is working. Clear, everyone? So, all right. So, considering that as a confirmation, so till now we were creating new files. It could be modifying the file as well, right? Need not be always creating a new file. We might have to modify the file also, right? So, how do you handle those modifications? Let's see. So let's modify the file. Let's suppose I want to make some. I'm just opening the file in a notepad or anything you can use. I'm just adding some dummy lines, hello or hi. Done. I made some modification. So what happens now? Where is this modification? See, remember one thing, Git works with respect to the changes, right? Meaning that change could be creating a file. The change could be modifying a file. The change could be deleting a file. Whether it is deletion or creation or modification, Git works in the same way. Meaning, any modification will first go to staging area, working directory, staging area, and local repository. Right? So now just I modified the file. Can you tell me where is this modification?
Working directory.
Exactly, working directory. But do you see the difference? It's not telling you untracked, rather, it is telling you unstaged. Unstaged means not staged, not in staging area, it's in the working directory. But what is the
Yep.
difference between untracked and unstaged? This could be another important interview question. What is the difference between untracked and unstaged changes? Can anyone?
Yeah, the untracked is like the creation of the first file, new file or something. And like
File, first time you are creating it, it will be untracked. So what you have to do, git
git
add
add
file name, git
file.
commit, right? So for
Yeah.
unstaged means file is
Git
already
Modified file.
Git
Modified.
commit.
correct. He did some modifications. Excellent. So again, what you have to do,
Git
you have
commit.
git add git commit. You have to do it separately, or else because it's not a new file, you can do git commit with add flag, means add and commit -am. This is allowed only for unstaged changes, but not for untracked
Uh,
changes.
Preeti, the file is already created, right? We
Hmm.
have to add again, or directly you
You
can do
have
the commit.
you can do the sim separately or else in a single command also. Anything you can do for unstaged changes.
Okay.
Like git commit -add and commit. Let me do it because it's a new one. -am. Right? Add and commit. So that you don't have to do add command separately. This is nothing but add
No,
and
no,
commit.
no. I'm asking only can you do only git commit like that?
No, not possible. See, in this architectural diagram we have learned, right? You cannot directly go this way. Mm. This is not possible. No. You have to go to staging area. From staging area to local means you have to do add
Or
and commit. You cannot directly commit from local to, sorry, working directory to local. Not
every time we modified, we have to add and we have to commit it.
correct. Correct.
Okay.
You cannot bypass it.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, so git add -m file modifications, some message. Done. Now you do git status. You can see it as a clean, and whatever changes you have in your local repository are all committed. Am I clear for everyone? Any confusions, questions? Please bring it up at the moment. Learn the subject thoroughly
Or like
on
if
basis.
you modified two files, like if you modified file one and file two,
Hmm.
so like how you will be like same way we need to like git say we can use commit -am or like we need to add like git add and git commit. Like git commit -am we can use, right?
Okay, yes, same thing. See, in this working directory, you may modify single file or multiple files. Similarly, you may create
Okay.
single file or multiple files. So if it is multiple file, git add dot means all the files. Okay, it will add all of them to staging area. Once they are into staging area, commit command will commit everything in the staging area. It could be one file or two files, whatever in the staging area will be committed. Right?
Yeah. This is like git add dot is like we need like n number of files we can add, right?
You want to add all the files in the working directory. All means git add dot. If you want to add each file one by one, git add file one, file two, you can put, you can mention those file names there.
So for like you said like for unstaged like modifications, you said like git commit -am, right? So
Hmm.
we can use that command for that command for two files if we modified. We can use that
Right.
command. It will work. It will not
Minus
work.
A means it will commit, it will add all the files, whichever modified.
Yeah. Okay. That's-
All the files it will add and commit, whichever they are
Yeah.
in.
If you do separate commands, we have to do git add dot.
Git add dot, yes, git add dot means it will add all the
Yeah.
files in the working directory and then you run git commit command separately. But commit command will commit whatever in the staging area.
No, no. Without git add dot also, if we give directly git am commit am, it will add all the files. Right?
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
If they are all modified files, not new files, it will add all of them. right? So this is about the major components which we learned in the theoretically we learned, right? The architecture, working directory, staging area, local repository. Remember one thing, we are still in local. We did not go to remote yet. Before going to remote, we have to learn many other things before we go to remote, right? So we were still on local. First, let's learn local thoroughly before you go to remote and share it with others. Okay, so that's the importance of working directories, staging area, and local repository. If you are completely thorough with it, I'll take an interesting concept. Can I go on for a next use case or scenario?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So till now we were adding, creating files. Let me repeat it with one more file. An interesting part here. I created some file. Okay, obviously it will be in the working directory. I will also make some changes like a line hello. I'll make this change. Okay, anyway, now if I see the status, can you tell me what would be the message it would be giving me?
File
What
one,
message?
file two.
Untracked.
Untracked.
Untracked
Yeah.
file 3. Okay, fine. Just I'm repeating the use case for the benefit of everyone and kind of recap or revision. Git add. So what would be where is the file now?
Staging area.
And what would be the message PC?
Added or committed
To be committed,
to
right?
be.
So, okay, fine. I'm committing it. Git commit minus m third file. Done. And if you see the status, it's clean. Now what I want is, what I'll do is, I'm modifying this again. Uh, I'm just adding another dummy line. So can you tell me where is this modification? This is
Unstaged.
a recap of what we have learned. So where is the modification?
Unstaged.
In the working directory, right? So
Yeah.
it is having some unstaged changes, correct? So if you want to see unstaged changes of the file, git diff file name will show you unstaged changes of the file. Git diff file name, something missed. Git diff file name.
.txt.
.txt.
Right. Okay. So thank you. I'm just wondering what is missing. Yeah, extension of the file. So git diff of file 3 is telling you there were some unstaged changes, right? Is this file having any staged changes? To see the staged changes, nothing is staged, right? Everything is committed, isn't it? Let me do one more change or else, okay. Yeah, let me add it. Git add file 3 done. Okay, now does it have any unstaged changes? I did just now git add. Is it having any unstaged changes? So if you see here, right, you can see no unstaged changes, but it is having staged changes now. Got it, everyone? Right? Means I have checked this before staging, so it was showing unstaged changes. Then I have staged this, then I checked it has staged changes, but no unstaged changes. Clear, everyone? Are we good and any confusion?
Can you go file
Can you
again if
repeat
you
it
don't mind?
again?
Sure, sure. No worries. See, I just edited this file. Does it have staged or unstaged changes at this point? Unstaged, right? So git diff file name is showing some changes here because they are unstaged. Later on, I did git add. So git diff file name is showing no output because no unstaged changes. Just now I have staged it. No unstaged changes. Right? Then I did git diff staged because it has got staged changes. Yes, it has got staged changes. Just now I have staged it, right? Just now I staged it. So staged changes will be there. Here I did not stage it. So unstaged changes are there.
Normally, if you do any changes in the file, it will come to unstaged changes, right?
Correct. Correct. First time when you do changes, unstaged changes will be there.
Okay.
Later on I added.
After
No.
after adding staged command, it will come under staged changes.
Correct. Got it now? Whoever
Yeah.
asked me to repeat, understood?
Okay.
Right. And then, okay, fine. There were staged changes I have added. Later on, I can also make again at some change, right? Now, is it having unstaged change or not? Yes, of course, the last line, isn't it? See, this one. Also, it has got staged changes. Some stage changes are staged, right? First two lines. Simple. Just I'm making some changes. If I have added, it would be in the staging. If again I'm making some changes, I did not run git add. So they were unstaged. Simple, just tricky. Understood?
So
After
nothing
after
happens
adding, we'll
until you commit the change.
Come again, please.
No, I was saying nothing happens until you commit a change. You can be adding to the file, but until you actually do any, modification, like, it's always in the staging, right?
You see, yes, those changes are staged. When you commit it, you don't see them under staged or unstaged, right? I'm talking about non-committed changes. You just made a file, okay, a new line is added. Can you tell me unstaged or staged changes, this one?
unstaged.
On
Yeah.
on stage.
You see it with the command git diff. You will see, yes, it will show some output because it is unstaged. Then I'm running git add command. So the same line is staged. So you will not see any output now under git diff. Rather, you will see output under git diff staged flag because it shows staged changes. Okay, perfect. Let's say line 1. This is line number 1. Okay, line number 1 is first unstaged. So it will show under unstaged changes. Later on I did git add. It will show under stage, the same first line. Later on again I am editing the file. Line 2. Now when I do git diff unstaged changes, yes, it will show line 2 here. It will also show you staged changes as line 1. Clear? Understood?
Yeah.
See, just I'm keep
Okay.
on editing my file. I keep on editing my file. Okay, if I keep on editing my file, they'll be unstaged only. I can see with the git diff only. Later on, I may add it. Then I'll see all those changes under git diff staged flag because they're all staged. Later on, again I start editing the file. Those changes which are not added will be shown under unstaged. And those which are staged will be shown under staged. So the file will have both staged and unstaged changes. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Still
Clear.
confused? Anyone there with confusions? Simple logic, right? There is no complications here, just a simple logic. So at this point, if I do git status, same file will be shown under changes to be committed means which area?
Staged area.
Staging area. And same file is shown under not staged. Unstaged means which area?
Working
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 directory.
directory. Yeah.
Directory. Means at this case, both file could be shown under staged and unstaged. You don't have to get confused. Simple. I'm keep on working on the file, making modifications. After some modifications, after 10 lines, I have run git add. So those 10 lines are staged. Then I wrote 11 to 15th line. These 11 to 15th line are in unstaged. I could have, if I run git add, they also become staged. Isn't it? So 1 to 10 lines will be staged, 11 to 15 will be unstaged until I again run git add. Clear now? So don't get confused when you see file both under staged and unstaged. Simple, logical. See, git hands-on is mandatory. You have to do all these scenarios hands-on before you join the next class. Right? And at this point, what you do, git commit -am, add and commit file changes so that all the changes will be staged and committed. If you see git status, clean. Perfect. As simple as that. Whatever we do today, setting up the git, doing the hands-on this basic, analyzing staging area, working directory, these things are important. First go through these things, right? Complete your hands-on. I'll come back to the topic. Before that, let me show you one thing. How should you master the topics learned? Isn't it? Whatever we have learned today will be posted
Your
in this.
voice is getting stuck. Preeti.
Can you hear
Hello.
me? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're
No,
audible.
Sorry, could be some disturbance. I think it should be fine now. Okay, so what I'm telling is like how to learn and master this course.
Yes, your voice is breaking.
hello.
Yep, good now. Is it good now? Is it okay now?
It's fine.
Yes, right,
Right,
ma'am.
it was clear now. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is how to expertise your learning. So just check here. Go to your LMS. Here are the lab exercises which we have done in today's class. So you have to master them. Like set up your lab, do everything we have done. See here, git diff commands, everything here, including explanations, whatever I have done here. Complete the hands-on. Also take up the quiz. Quiz is to register your learning, validate your learning. You can retake this quiz. We'll also get the scores to track your learning. You should complete the quiz, you should complete the lab exercise, you should complete the interview questions relevant to this particular day. That's how you will master this course each day. Means by the end of the course, you'll be job ready, you'll be
Hello.
DevOps, you're ready to work on DevOps projects.
Yeah.
Right? So this is the learning path. This is how you master this course, right? Hands-on is mandatory. Whatever we have to do, sorry, whatever we have done in the class, execute and get ready. These are simple assignments as it's a day one. As we progress, you'll be seeing more assignments as well, right? So go to your LMS, check for all this material, be ready. Also separate WhatsApp group is created for all of you so that any questions,
Preeti,
if
your voice is getting stuck in between.
I think it's for you. Can you please check from your end, Vivek? I think it's good for others. I'm just checking parallelly. Looks like it's good for others.
Hello.
Yeah, from our end, there is no issue.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's perfectly audible from my side. Out
Vivek,
of
please check
India.
from your end. It's from some issue from your end. Okay, so this is the learning path, and this is how you should master every day, right? So coming back, um, so we just learn the basics, creating a file, understanding what is staging area, what is local repository, what is a working directory and all, right? Build your own lab, like whatever we have done, you can set it up on your lab for today to do the Git hands-on, right? I will also like to show you one more additional step. Can I go on or anyone having any questions or can I go on?
Preeti ma'am, can you like tell me that distributor and you said some two version control system in Git, right? Distributor and
Right,
what?
right.
Can you explain me the first one, not distributed one, the above?
Centralized version control system means there'll be only central server or remote repository. Everyone have to connect to it and work on it. If you don't have network connection, you cannot work on it at all.
Oh,
So I would suggest one thing, Manoj, go through the
hmm,
recording. Okay, you listen once again. If you
yeah,
still have any questions, note it down and come back to me. Tomorrow also I can clarify your queries. Right? But
yeah,
in
okay.
that is the difference. Okay. And till now, to modify the files, we were using just opening the file and doing it, right? So you might be using Notepad, Notepad plus plus, or Word document, WordPads, anything, right? So there is a better professional editor you can use. Go and download Visual Studio Code. This is an editor. Don't worry, you don't have to learn. This is just an editor like a Notepad plus plus and all. Go here and download for Mac or whatever, depending on your operating system, you can download it. Other platforms, right? See here, Windows, Linux, you can download it. Once you download it, this is how it looks like. This is the best professional editor which you can use to manage any files. So go to File, open your project. This Visual Studio Code editor is the one which we use in reality, which you should have hands on. It's not a program or anything, just another interface to manage your files better. Advantages, you don't have to learn terminal separatory and all. You can modify files here itself. Terminal, you can launch terminal here itself, run any Git commands. This is the advantage. You see all of them in the single pane, in the single window. Also, many other advantages you will understand as we go by. Isn't it very easy to see this way? All the files, all the changes. You can edit the file here itself, right? So that's a convenient it offers. So go for it, which helps your life or which makes your life easy. This is an additional editor. It's not mandatory you should use only this one. If you know any other editors, any other IDEs, you can use it, or Notepad is also perfect. But I'm showing you a professional way of doing the things. So try to set this up. Just go to Google and type in Visual Studio Code. Even those links are available in our lab notes. Everything will be available. You don't have to struggle much for it. You have those links also available in the lab exercises. Lab notes is here at the top and the documentation here. You can also get it from there. Right? So that editor will help you manage your files in a better way. Okay. Let me show you a simple difference. I'm making another change. Okay. See, do you see whenever I made a change here, M is shown, means modified, right? That's the advantage of it. So it tells you changes to be staged. Okay. You can, if you want a create new file, you can create from here, file 4.txt. It would be shown as, see, U means untracked, new file. See, that's the advantage, one of the advantages of using this editor. So you can add and commit the file 4, whereas you can commit the file 3, right? So let me just give you a gist of what we have learned. Today we have learned, I'm giving a recap of what we have learned. We have learned what is a version control system, types of version control systems, sorry, types of version control systems, centralized version control system and distributed version control system. Then we have learned about Git architecture. Of course, we have learned architecture of those two. Then we have learned Git architecture. In this, we have understood what is working directory, what is staging area, local repository, right? And then we have understood the commands like git status, Of course, first git init, create a local repository, git status, git commit, -m, git commit, -am, differences between untracked, untracked and unstaged changes. Then we have discussed about git diff command, git diff staged flag. Then anything else? Of course, simple commands like ls cd ls -a to see the hidden files, to see the files in local and
Oops.
state. Right. These are all the commands we have learned. It is not too much. If you do the hands-on, things fall in the right place. Trust me, hands-on will bring a lot of difference. Trust me, even though you know Git, even though you are working with it, I would suggest a quick hands-on. If you already know this, if you are already using some version control system, it will just take 15 minutes of your time. Just go through the process from the day one to see the fruitful results from this training. Any more questions from anyone? Right?
LS extension, please.
Louder, please. Extension. Any questions? Any other questions from anyone? The last 15 minutes is for the questionnaire. If you have any questions, you can bring them up. LS.
How to update the Git existing Git version? I mean, to latest version.
Which version?
I mean, I already had a Git installed. How to update to the latest version? Like that.
Any version is fine. You don't have to update it. You can use any version of Git.
Okay.
If
Okay.
Git is
Okay.
installed, you can keep using it.
Okay.
Any more queries from anyone? Yeah, I think you all have got access to your LMS and all of you are added to the private WhatsApp group. If you did not get the access or if you haven't added to private WhatsApp group, please reach out to Mr. Raj on this number. And any further queries, concerns, or anything you want to ask, you can feel free to go ahead. Last 15 minutes is for you. Anything you have from your end.
Ma'am, till when the recording will be uploaded on the portal?
A recording will be uploaded in some time, like maybe in an hour or so, because it should be processed and it should be available. Once it is done, it will be available. Maybe under 1 hour itself. Maximum is
Okay.
1. Any more questions from anyone? All right, then, if there are no questions, that's all from my end, and we'll connect back tomorrow. Good day. Bye, everyone. Thank you all. See you all tomorrow. Next.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.